you find that men, as I said before, don't talk about it. So it's getting them to therapy or getting them to a professional. But when they do get there, they're still locked up. They still don't talk enough. They don't open up about what they're really scared about, what's really breaking their heart.
For the month of October, we're focusing our podcast on men's mental health. Partnering with United Annesley and Lockhaven facilities, we are having raw and honest discussions around everything to do with mental health. In this episode, I got to speak to Ross Bunch and understand what mental health means to him. If you find anything in this episode distressing or you need support, please reach out to Lifeline Australia or Beyond Blue. Thanks, Ross, so much for coming on the podcast. So I'll just I'll jump into some questions if that's all right. What's your understanding of mental health?
Mental health, it's a way of getting help. I find it's a way of, for me it was, the doorway to mental health was a saviour from suicide. I was quite suicidal. I was living in a boarding house for many years, and I became catatonic and just laid on my bed, didn't move, and ate occasionally, lost 20 kilos, and my children rescued me by directing me to mental health professionals. They came to my room. My daughter said, "I have a glass of wine, Dad." I had a glass of wine, and have another one, and she was pouring big glasses of wine, and then she said, "Guess what? We're going to hospital." So I was up and dressed and going to enjoy a trip to the hospital. I wasn't sure why, and she took me to Concord Mental Health, and I was there for a month, and it was the mental health professionals that gave me that doorway, that saving grace to not to be fighting depression and suicidal thoughts and anxiety anymore. I'm still battling it every day, but yeah, mental health is a major doorway in my life.
Right. So your daughter was using the wine as a way to make sure she got you to the...
I think she just wanted to get me drunk first.
Yeah, so less chance she'll say no.
Say no, and I knew I was in a bad way, because when you're suicidal, you don't want to die. I didn't want to die. I was just in so much pain, it was cruel to stay alive.
Yeah.
It was just so cruel to stay alive, with the anxiety and the depression eating into me every minute of every day, and the blackness was just utter misery.
Happy to say what sort of got you to that stage? Was that, what sort of part of time in your life was that?
Well, that was when I was in the boarding house, when I was I experienced mental health early on. Right. in my life, like real early.
Right, okay.
I can remember at convent school experiencing OCD issues, then throwing my biscuits that my mum had lovingly wrapped for me in the bin because I didn't want them, and I would say goodbye to them and I'm sorry for throwing them away. I so much wanted to not offend the biscuits. So that was, OCD, and I lived with depression as a child. I just thought everyone experienced it. I thought everyone was just experiencing my situation.
But I wondered the same. I wondered if all kids had that sort of OCD thing happen at times. I remember when I was really young, we used to have a patterned carpet with sort of like flowers on it, and then I used to come down the stairs and I had to stand on these certain
patterns,
If I didn't, I had to go back and start again.
Yeah, because
I actually always think that is that something that other people had?
Yeah. I used to be like that, and depression was my constant companion. One of my favourite songs is "Hello Darkness, My Old Friend." I can remember at a really early age. I was only about 3, and my mother was screaming at me, and she had me on the floor, and she had a face so close to mine I could feel the breath on my face, and she was screaming, I hate you, I want you to die, I wish you'd died at birth. And strangely enough, even as a baby, what went through my mind was, this is going to cause problems. Even as a baby, I thought, there's going to be a reaction to this. And there was. Even though doctors have said now that my depression is endogenous, it's not reactive to my environment, it's just a chemical thing. I'm sure that was a seed, was the genesis of a lot of it.
Right. So it has really felt like a lifelong battle with mental health.
Oh yeah, a lifelong battle.
Right.
Most of the things that I've done in life have, I've been gifted in a lot of ways in that I try new things and am capable of doing things. And through life, depression has just crushed me all the time. I might start a project or start a new job or buy a business or something like that, and every time depression has crippled me, and I've ended up just in a room, black, and unable to move.
So it's held you back a lot.
Oh, it's completely destroyed my life. It's only my Christian faith that has given me any form of hope and life at all. Mental health professionals in what they've done for me, my Christian faith, and just a period of time, those 3 elements have sort of helped me.
And reading your story before, I think you said there that you started off having that sort of Christian faith, but then you moved away from it and then found it again later.
Yeah, I grew up in a convent school. Every time I think about it, I can hear the bells of the convent. And beside the school was a Baptist church, and across the road was our Catholic church that we went to. And I always remembered the Baptists, when they would go to church, there would be loud, joyful hymns, and they all carried Bibles. And when I went to church, there were no hymns. They spoke in Latin, and because that was back before the change, when they changed it to English. And it was sort of a cold thing, and I thought, this isn't for me, and I turned away. I knew that there was something else, but what was in Catholicism I just couldn't find. And I spent many years with drug addiction, alcohol abuse. The alcohol was just trying, and even the drugs were just trying to subdue the feelings of the depression.
You get a bit of relief from it almost.
Get relief from the depression. And I mixed in some rough circles. Nice people, but rough circles. Like, I would keep a loaded gun by my door.
Oh, I don't know that bad at all.
Yeah, and I found myself in a rehab clinic in East Sydney. I just went there one day and said, I need help. And the psychiatrist there must have seen that I was in a bad way, because he booked me in straight away. And I stayed there for a while. And a fellow one night in the dormitory, where all these men slept, he sat bolt upright and started praying for me. And he told me later on, he said, I had a dream just to pray for you across the hall. And I prayed, and I prayed with him that night. And I asked for Jesus' help in being a Christian. Can he help me? And I prayed, and my life seemed to change in a big way. With Catholicism, there was no personal relationship. With just reading my Bible, I found out that I could have a personal relationship with Jesus, and it could be a personal experience. And I started to find relief from my depression. And things didn't go well though. Life wasn't all butter and jam at that time. It never is. I was married, and I went to Bible college. I met a girl after Bible college, got married. I had 3 beautiful children, the light of my life. And eventually there was trouble, and I was divorced. But it's good in that my wife and I still are very good friends. I go and visit her every week or two, and the kids come around and we have games night. And last week I had cooked lamb chops for barbecue, and we still love each other and care for each other very much.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to have that relationship.
Yeah.
You've been really open already. My next question was going to be, how do you find expressing how your mental health is going? It sounds like you're quite happy to talk about it and express it.
Yeah, there's tension there, but I always feel tension when expressing it, but I think it's important to express it because mental health, particularly with men, is covered up, and men just decide that they're going to be tough and not talk about it, because to talk about it is too weak to mention. And it just shows a failure. I was a bit the same even growing up. Even if I was physically injured in some way, I wouldn't mention it because I was worried that someone would have a go at me and get aggressive towards me, or something like that at school, or maybe I'd get into a fight, or they would say, "Oh, Ross isn't that tough," something like that. It's just bred into men, and I think it's important that people like myself speak about it.
Do you think it is better now? Do you think more men are happy to open up? Just a little bit?
Just a little bit, yeah. Yeah.
Do you think you express yourself differently to other men?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think one of the reasons why is that my Christian faith is one. It gives me a strength. Also at Bible college, I did a postgraduate course in analytical psychotherapy. So I was interviewed by a therapist at great depth on camera. And then I would have to also interview other people at great depth on camera, and I just got used to it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, awesome. Okay. You did talk before about how men don't want to show that weakness. Was there a lot of stigma around mental health when you were growing up, do you think?
Oh, yeah. I remember a relative of mine was working at a psychiatric centre in Sydney, and we were going out to a function as a child. I was getting dressed and ready to go out to a nighttime function at the psychiatric centre, and I said to my father, "Where are we going?" And he said, "We're going to the madhouse." And I was out front of my house yelling out at the neighbourhood, "We're going to the madhouse tonight. We're going to the madhouse." So that was the idea. If you went to a psychiatric centre back in the day, it was a madhouse. You were bonkers.
Yeah.
There was a definite stigma. But yeah, back in the day, no one would speak of it, and it was seen as a slur.
Yeah. Yeah, no, okay. So my next question was going to be, does it still impact you now? If no, how are you able to get around that? But obviously, as you said, you still are impacted by the mental health side. But has it changed over time, and how is it now?
How is my mental health now?
Mm.
Yeah, well, I haven't long come out of the psychiatric centre at Concord, so it was all experimental there. I have been in Concord before. I had 27 electroconvulsive therapy treatments, so they were giving me the utmost that they could to try and relieve my pain. And I am different now. They tried just recently. They tried out medication with me. I'm on a new medication now. I'm on 2 new medications now. So things are a bit different. I'm not as anxious. My good friend and professional Georgia helps me out quite a lot. Every week she comes with different ways of scaring me, and I have a tension and stress monitor, and I show her where I am as she's talking to me.
Yeah.
So things now, they're different. There's hope. There's excitement, and there's a way through it now.
Yeah, that's great. Is that key? Is it having that, like being able to talk to people? Is that probably one of the best ways to deal with it?
Yes, there's definitely a place for medication.
Right.
Definitely, and for physical therapies like electroconvulsive therapy, there is a part for that, a place for that, but the way that I've gone is sort of a mixture of both medication, talking to people, talking through problems. Even if you just start with talking to the guy next door, that's saying, how are you? People hate asking me how I am, because if they say, how are you today? I tell them. I tell them exactly how I'm feeling, and I think that's important. So yes, talking is paramount.
And do you think most or many people are equipped to have a conversation? Like in you saying there that you would tell them exactly how you're feeling. I guess it's one thing for someone to ask you how you are, but do you think most people are equipped, if you do then say, well, I'm struggling a little bit, can they help or have a conversation, or do they sort of shy away sometimes, do you think?
People tend to be scared, and they if you say that you're unwell, you have to fight through the reactions. There's reactions that are often negative, in that they will say things like, pull your socks up, or you're not trying hard enough, or get over it. You wouldn't say that to someone if they had cancer or a broken leg or something.
It's strange how different that approach is, isn't it? And that sort of, just get on with it. Come on, you'll be all right. That's how it works.
Just pull your socks up and get on with it. The reactions are normally negative, but when you get a positive reaction, go for it. To take all heed, and seek out people, seek out professionals that can help you, a psychotherapist, a psychologist, a psychiatrist. Talk to someone about it.
Yeah. Have you ever tried hypnotherapy out of interest? I was thinking that a couple of people have mentioned to me that's been helpful for.
Yeah, a girl way back was giving me some hypnotherapy. And I subsequently then learned how to hypnotise myself, and I tend to do still today when Georgia, my psychologist, gives me homework to do. I tend to use meditation and self-hypnosis to work through what a lot of the issues are that she's given me for homework.
How hard was that to learn how to hypnotise yourself?
Oh, that was pretty hard. Yeah, it was difficult because and people even gave me bad feedback with that, in that, how do you know you're not teaching yourself to be a chicken? Well, I'm not giving myself a lobotomy. I'm just giving myself very mild suggestions in the way to think, and after a while it becomes second nature.
Yeah, I thought I'd ask. I was having some anxiety around public speaking, and then someone recommended that I saw a hypnotherapist, and I did.
Did you try it?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was not too long ago, and it was really good. I had 3 sessions with this guy. I'd been doing it for 30 years, and I thought it was great. It really seemed to help.
Wow.
So that's what I'd ask.
The benefits you can get out of all types of therapy is like that is amazing. And one of my main messages to people is don't give up. There is light at the end of the tunnel. There really is. These things like hypnosis, medication, psychotherapy, they work, and they're there for a reason. And the professionals in the field are loving and caring. Like at Lockhaven, where I am now, it's an aged care hostel. The staff are just beautiful and so loving and caring, and some of the residents are a bit nasty, and they've got to put up with a bit.
Yeah.
But they do, and they're constantly caring for me. To the point where I said to the manager the assistant manager of the hostel one day, when I first got there, I might have to go and book into a motel for a couple of days just to have a rest from all the activities and things that I'm doing.
Yeah.
There's so much going on every day. I was catatonic in a boarding house for 7 months. All this activity is a bit much for me.
Yeah.
But there's people out there that'll listen to you, and places to go, and there's hope. Yeah.
And that would be the main advice that you give people, is to just keep seeking out these different techniques or different ways to cope. There's plenty of them.
Don't give up.
Yeah.
Never give up. I was, at a real end in my life when I was drinking and went to the rehab clinic. The drinking didn't really work. Drugs, marijuana, heroin didn't work. So I just gave them up. And I was fortunate enough, thank God, that I found a Christian faith that sort of picked me up and altered me in a way, quite profoundly too. It wasn't just here you go, this is something to believe in. It was a physical thing that happened to me that night, that I was exposed to Christianity for the first time, and it really bowled me over and put me in a fantastic direction.
Yeah, that's great.
But as I said, it's still hard. Life is still hard. It's not a bed of roses by any means.
There's plenty of hope there.
There's plenty of hope there. There's a lot of battling, but there's plenty of hope, and there's a lot you can do.
Yeah, awesome. Just had a couple more questions. Do you think it takes longer for men to be diagnosed with mental health illness than it may be for women?
Yes, because even in therapy, well, let me say that first, you find that men, as I said before, don't talk about it. So it's getting them to therapy or getting them to a professional. But when they do get there, they're still locked up. They still don't talk enough. They don't open up about what they're really scared about, what's really breaking their heart, what's really tearing them apart. Most men walk around with a profound sense of loss and despair, and it's just locked inside, and it eats at them every day.
Yeah. Okay. think we've already covered this really, but do you have any recommendations to other men who are being impacted by mental health? I think we've already covered that around what you said before about
Go get it.
Go do it. Yeah, and there's plenty out there. Yeah. Awesome. Is it anything else that we haven't covered that springs to mind? I think we've covered some really good stuff there. There's been some great advice and great tips, and thanks for sharing your story. It's been great.
Yeah, I can't think of anything else except to maybe condense the message here that I'm trying to give in that, one is Christian faith. One of the things that was profound to me was when I read that Jesus Christ is the way, the truth and the life, and no one comes to the Father but through him. A personal relationship with him was profoundly beneficial for me. Finding professional help is profoundly beneficial. You can get it. Dial Lifeline. Lifeline's very simple. They give a lot of advice, and they'll stick with you. They won't hang up.
Yeah.
They'll stick with you, and find someone in your local area that you can talk to. And if that all fails, just talk to someone. Speak. Ask for help. Say I'm hurting.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast. It's been great.
Thank you for asking me.